to Mondays with Maxy, coming to you after another disappointing loss, this time at the hands of the Sydney Swans by 11 points. Maxy, another opportunity lost.
Tough one to swallow, Chris O. It was similar, I suppose, to the Hawthorn, Fremantle, Port Adelaide games over that 3-week period where we had all the opportunities and the stats that matter, we just didn't put them away. So when you have a close look at it and pull it apart, the contested possessions we dominated, the tackles we dominated, inside 50s and scoring shots we're in front in both those categories.
That all equals a very comfortable win.
It should do, but in the end, if you don't put it on the scoreboard, that's the only one that matters.
And the goal kicking, another issue.
It was a big issue, and it really comes back a lot of it to the stoppages. When you look at the stoppages, we actually played really well around them and used the ball really well from the stoppages. Great pressure around it, but in the end, we kicked 1 goal 10 from our stoppages, and Sydney kicked 7 goals 1. So massive difference there. Their effectiveness, you can see Tay probably had the opportunity, one that he should have kicked and he would have been disappointed with. But again, the quick hands, working together, bring the ball back into the corridor. Geordie draws the opponent, again gives it to Jamie. You just expect him to knock that over every day of the week. So disappointing, but in the end, as I said, that's all part of it.
And a couple of set shots missed as well, which was really disappointing. But some real positives coming out of the game as well. Who was the player of the week?
Look, my player of the week was Darcy Moore. I thought he was sensational. Obviously, Swanee was probably best on ground, but Darcy, the way that he played, he just brings such an intensity, which is what I love. His competitiveness is outstanding. He's learning how to take marks using his body in terms of contested marks, but he also puts that forward pressure on. If he can stand up as the second ruckman like he did, he had 9 hit-outs, but more his follow-up work was sensational around the ground. If he can stand up as that second ruckman to give Brodie a cutout, or if Witsy, whoever it is, it's just going to go a long way to us being a really successful team.
Second ruckman and also a third tall forward, getting the third best defender, that's a real positive, isn't it?
Correct, and that was the first time in a long time that we've had both Ben Reid and Trav Cloke in the same team. Obviously, Trav coming back from that calf injury, thought he was very, very good, and Reedy, the ability for us to be able to swing him back, I thought Bucks in his coaching panel, some great moves, just momentum-wise, swinging Reedy back as that extra man at times when we had to do so. But look, there's one other thing we really have to touch on. It was the Nathan Brown hit. I know that you sit on the committee, mate, so we have to have a look at this. And look, I think the way you look at, you tell us, how did you grade it all?
Well, the first thing we have to determine is whether it's intentional or careless. So that's the first decision to make.
I would say it would be careless. I think that he was going in for the mark, charging in to take a mark, and Luke Parker was just that courageous, going back. He didn't think he was going to be there, and then in the last, I mean, it looks bad when you slow it down, but in the last probably 2 steps, he realised he wasn't going to get there and turned his body, so I'd say careless.
And of course, the other aspect is the injury to the player, which carries a lot of weight. Yep. So that'll be determined. There will be a medical report for Luke Parker, but he seemed to get up okay, which was certainly a positive.
Yeah, well, you'd expect, I suppose, that would be either medium or low. So I think there is one that I want to show you. This one was the Buddy Franklin one from early in the year, and I don't know if you can compare them, but this was actually graded as medium. And I guess when you look at it, sort of similar, but he did run past the ball, and there was a concussion test done on Edwards. So
yeah, I mean, Edwards got up to take his kick on that occasion, and then, as you say, had the concussion test, but did come back on the ground.
So that would probably be rated, in my opinion, would be rated higher than Brown. So it goes consistency-wise. If that was medium, hopefully Brownie will get away with a low, but at worst case scenario, you'd think he'd get a medium, which would probably be 2 down to 1.
All right, well, that's it. Let's hope for the best on that front, and certainly it is going to be a big game coming up on Saturday against the Tigers. Can we do it, Maxy?
Absolutely we can. I think we're playing good football, but we've just got to put it on the scoreboard, do it in front of goal, back at the MCG on a Saturday afternoon, so hopefully the boys get it done.
Thanks for watching. Join us next week as we celebrate, hopefully, a big win over the Tigers.